Hey guys, Dudu here, all things art and books. How you doing? Well, today's video is another little watercolour painting which I've entitled Forest Dawn, and I've put the little fox in here as well. I used a reference photo for the forest from a photograph that my boyfriend took, and I used the reference photo for the little fox from wildlifereferencephotos.com and just incorporated the two. So I hope you enjoy the time lapse of this video, and I'll do a little bit of voiceover as well. Yeah, enjoy the video. So that because this is an actual forest, I sketched the basic shapes of the trees because I wanted it pretty accurate. Then added in the little fox. So before putting any paint anywhere near the paper, I masked out the little fox so that that paper underneath would remain completely white and undamaged, and I could paint the forest without any problems. So after soaking the paper with water, I was just dropping colour in and letting it bleed with the paper still wet. Then I let it dry and started to add in the basic shapes of the trees, following the lines as close as I could where I had sketched in the forest initially. I tend not to go too heavy too early because you could at this point because the trees are pretty dark, but I like to build it up gradually, and you also get more tones and values that way. Okay, I wanted to slow the video right down here and put in a little tiny bit of real-time footage for you so that you can see just how slow the process is. Sometimes when you see time-lapse videos, you think, oh wow, that's done so quickly, and the layers are built up quickly. It's not. It's a very, very long, laborious process, at least it is for me. And when I say laborious, it's not that it's not enjoyable, but it is slow, and I just take my time and enjoy the whole process. The painting at this moment in time is pretty, what I call 5-year-old stage, ugly stage. But although I did quite like the lighting at this point, and I felt actually a wee bit later on that I lost a little bit of that subtlety, but it was the way the painting turned out, and I'm still happy with it. So I just wanted to show you how slow this process is at this point. But anyway, on to the time lapse. Just darkening up those tree trunks and branches now, and getting that more contrast into the painting itself. Still got that lovely subtle highlight at the back, and I did lose that a little bit, which I think I would have taken more care the next time should I do this painting again or something similar. Because once you lose subtle colours in watercolour, you can't really get them back. But hey, as I say, I was happy with it anyway. I'm also building up the tones and values in the grass at the front. I actually used quite a bit of pinks and purples in the front, which I find went quite well with it. Also in the fox later on. I'm using a liner brush here to put some little strands of grasses in, and I'm using white gouache so that'll show up against the background of the dark watercolour. Deepening the shadows again, and yet again increasing the contrast. I did manage to keep that little pool of light which is just beneath the sun in the forest, and I really like that effect because that was part of the whole atmosphere I felt of the piece. More wisps of grass using the white gouache and the liner. say I use the liner, and then the next thing is I go over it with more paint and then go over it again with more liner, and that's how you build up the layers. Here I'm just removing the masking fluid so I can start painting the fox. Blocking in some light golds and like a blue-grey colours in the fox, just blocking out the basic tones and highlights at this point, not worrying about any detail at all. And gradually building up the depth of colour, just layer upon layer upon layer. I took some of that orange that was in the fox there, and I went around the outside of the sun with it. You would have seen me doing that, and it's just to use some of the colours that are in the fox also in the surrounding landscape, and when you do that it starts to bring the whole picture together so that it looks like one piece rather than the fox just stuck on. Adding some sunbeams with lemon yellow and also white gouache to sort of accentuate those sunbeams. Adding a lot of fur detail here now with the tiny liner brush and white gouache. Here I'm splashing some metallic watercolour paint, and it just was given that lovely shimmer effect, especially when you hold it to the light. And the shimmer that I was using was like a gold shimmer, so it really toned in with the sort of autumnal feel, the gold of the fox, and also the golden and orangey highlights it put through the forest.